welcome everyone to 13.14 patch notes. So the split just ended, split 1, now we're gonna have split 2 and a super mega ultimate big patch is here. And we've got a lot of changes, so let's get into it. As we can see, a lot of nerfs, a lot of buffs, a lot of item changes. Naafiri's in, a lot of skins. Let's go, 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 go. So mid-season ranked has just reset. I don't know. I hope everyone got the rewards they wanted. I got my Master Steer. I'm happy. This is the dates when it all ends. So it's just going to be today, tomorrow. The 2v2 game mode is right here. I would recommend everyone to go check it out. It's very fun. Tanks are super OP. Also, Timo and Heimerdinger defending turrets is very strong. It's very fun game mode. Like, you have 4 teams, play 2v2v2s, and it's really fun. Go check it out. It's interesting as fuck. We'll do a lot of it on the stream, on the kick stream, the Blind Surgeon. Go check it out. Next, we have the champions. Naafiri is in the game. She's super strong. She's an assassin, dog kind of thing, which has like pets going with her, and she's really fun. Pretty easy to like understand how she works. She's not really that hard. So yeah, nice champion to buy and try out if you like. She's a mid laner also. Probably people will of course try her jungle as well because she has a lot of jumps, a lot of wall hops. So yeah, good interesting champion to try out. And yeah, what's up? Aatrox is getting a little bit of a buff. His Q is stronger, scaling with AD. It's now from 80 to 100, and he does more damage to the minions. So it's like a minor buff to the good old World Ender. So he's gonna be a little bit stronger in your games, you know. So yeah, if you're a Aatrox enjoyer, be happy. It's a little bit of a buff. Diana is getting buffed all around. Her W shield is increased with AP, just base increased by 5. Her magic damage per orb is also increased by 3 AP. Her E Lunar Rush is increased by 10%, but she usually uses 2 of them. So it's basically 20% because she's gonna spam it 2 times. So this is quite a significant buff to Diana. If you like the good old Diana, you should dust her off the bins of your library and just pick her up and try and solo queue for split 2, and maybe you'll get some wins. You definitely should. Hecarim is getting some nerfs. Yes, fuck yeah. This is very good, and it's quite big nerfs because his armor and magic resist is gonna be reduced by 10. Both of them are being reduced by 10, so together this is a huge nerf. So just don't forget, Hecarim is still gonna one-shot you. He's gonna activate Ghost, activate E, get his mobility boots and gonna fucking run, charge at you, and you're gonna instant collateral damage. You're gonna die, but at least your teammates will be a lot happier trying to kill him back because he will have a lot less magic and armor resistance. So that's good. A nerf to Hecarim. Jax is getting nerfed as well. 50 mana plus on the ultimate. This is like insignificant. Like, you use the ulti once, like, or maybe twice. You'll use it once every minute or 2, so it's not really that much. But the E nerf is pretty big because it is increased by a second, so a second is quite significant, from 14 to 15. So a little bit of a nerf to Jax. Karthus, if you know, guys, I do play a lot of Karthus AD carry. I think mages are really strong bottom lane right now. You should play them. You should experiment. Let's see what happens to my boy. So my boy is getting nerfed by 2, by 1, by... Okay, so basically they're reducing the damage early game by 1 or 2, so it's pretty fine. Increase to monster. So Jungle Karthus is actually getting better than he was before, and this is the big nerf. The EE reset mana nerf is quite huge if you're not really that good with Karthus. So if you don't know how to handle your mana, when to hit Qs, when to push in the wave, when to be defensive, this will bite you because you will have significantly lower mana until you get Lost Chapter. When you get Lost Chapter, it doesn't matter because you get reset so much mana, it doesn't really matter. In Season 13, mages are just chilling because of the Lost Chapters. But yeah, if you're able to be smart about when to push, when to not, the Karthus nerfs really don't look that bad. You'll definitely be able to still play Karthus, and If you'll check my stream, I have like 63% win rate. I can guarantee you Karfus can get you 60% as well. He's very, very strong champion still. Good to try out, good to play. Base health increase on the Kindred. So Kindred is getting a lot tankier early. So 30 health is quite a lot early, and also 3 armor, so good. But her damage is being reduced by 10. And the cooldown is increased by 1. Okay, so this is good because Kindred was doing too much damage, but she was very squishy, so she was really easily punishable in the early stages of the game. So she's gets a little bit of a switcheroo through her stats, and this is totally fine. Lissandra had some mega changes, guys, mega changes. So what happens to Lissandra? Basically, her thralls now. Her thralls continue to chase you down the target until they explode. So how her thralls used to work, they used to chase, and then they would stop, and then they would explode. But now they'll chase you, and they'll explode while chasing. So there's a lot better chance of you actually exploding and getting damage hits. Also, the trolls will now follow enemies into the brush. So even if you try to hide, they'll still find you. They will hunt you down until you die. And the trolls are revealed to enemies through Fog of War. This is also a thing. So yeah, this is good quality of buff. And also this will translate to more win rate and more damage because the trolls will find you and they will explode better. The Q now doesn't slow just one target, it slows everyone. So if you hit the Q on a wave or like enemies at the dragon, it will actually slow as much people as you hit. So this is big buff. A lot more people can get slowed down. And Q will cast from position cast rather than the precast. Okay, so this is just a different adaptation of how the spell works. Also, the ultimate now heals a lot more. It's 10 plus all ranks, but the AP scaling is up by 30%. 30% is insane. It's insane. Because like, okay, she will have quite a lot of AP later on with like if you buy Rabadons at some point. So she is gonna heal a lot more in this situation. So overall, very exciting things for Lissandra. She will be one of the top mid laners, I think. She's very good in the meta. She's very good in roaming in all kinds of situations. So check yourself out for Lissandra, and if you're a mid laner, definitely try to pick her up. Milio was super strong. I mean, all the time basically he was released, and as we can see, his passive damage is being cut almost by half. It's like 10, and it was 80, and now it's 50. So imagine how OP Milio was if they're able to nerf him by almost 50%. Also, his movement speed is reduced by 3% up to 5%. So this is quite a big nerf, but don't worry if you're Milio enjoyers. Like, Milio still has a spot in the Summoner's Rift map. You can always pick him when there's a lot of CC on the enemy team, and that is especially the situation where you should be picking it. Not every game against everyone, because this passive was so strong that you could basically kill any enemy 2v2 laners just with the passive, and let's not even talk about the Lucian situation. So overall, very good nerfs to Milio. Still good champion if you play him in the right situations. Rek'Sai is getting nerfed, her damage is reduced, the W damage is reduced by 5, all ranks, and the E damage is reduced by a lot. It's like 50, 50, 50, 50, and then it's 50. So they're basically just trying to reduce the damage because Rek'Sai was doing way too much early game, way too much late game, and she was one-shotting you way too fast. So good nerfs on Rek'Sai. Rel was very strong, a lot of patches, like as soon as they did the remake, the mini rework remake thing on the Rel, she was terrorizing support position. Also, there was some experimentation with the jungle, not really that popular, but she's getting nerfed by 3 AD. Her stealing is reduced by 1%. Her stealing as well, resist steal and minimum armor magic resist steal is also reduced, and the maximum armor resist steal is reduced by 5. So she now gets less armor, less magic resist from the enemies, and the enemies lose less. So this is overall quite a significant nerf to Rel. She's still gonna be good. I think her kit is very strong. She has probably one of the most CC in the whole game, so she is definitely good if you can play her well. Rengar is gonna get nerfed on the regeneration per 5 seconds. This doesn't mean anything, but the critical strike damage conversion is a thing, and it will be influential if Rengar is building the critical strike itemization build path. So this will reduce his damage rate quite a lot, and it's good because Rengar was one-shotting 80 carries like nothing, like butter. We were being slain by this motherfucker. It was insane. So good nerfs on Rengar. Shaco now has opportunities to try and go AD. He's getting buffs on his AD spells. Q Deceive, so this is the stealth. He gets 10% bonus damage, and the critical strike damage is actually increased by 15%, which is really significant. And also, as hallucination now works better with Brawler's Claw, passive will now properly be applied to Shaco's clone. So overall, very good. Q Deceive is the main thing. Now maybe you can try out AD Shaco, and he is a lot better. So good. It's good for Riot to try and give champions who have like these mixed kits more opportunities to play both sides. So very good. Shyvana is also getting the same treatment as Shaco. She's getting buffs to her AD parts of Q and E. So Q is getting more AD growth. So if you have more AD, you'll do more damage with Q. And also how now Q works, you hit with the Q, and now your next two auto attacks, double punch, will have 40 to 60% increased attack speed, which will be very good. You'll do the two auto attacks very fast, and the cooldown though is increased. So like instead of doing one auto attack and then the cooldown is like lower, you could do the second one. Now it's a lot more. You do one and then you do two fast ones and you just wait for a little bit, 1 second more. So I mean 1 second is nothing compared to two very fast auto attacks gained here, and also the AD scaling. So this is big buff to AD Shyvana, and also now her AD scales with target's maximum health. So your E does damage depending how much bonus AD you have. You'll do more damage to tanks. So she does more damage to tanks as the AD variant. Again, very good for Riot to giving Shyvana AD options, not only just bombing people with the mega E dragon form and exploding everyone with the AP variant. What's going on with the Volibear? Oh, so Volibear is healing more with the W, and the passive AP scaling is a little bit increased. So like AP scaling, okay, so he scales like 10% more on the passive. It's all right, and the W is quite significant, 4% of the missing health. Healing late game, so it's not bad, not bad. A little bit of a buff to the good old Volibear, nothing major. Xerath changes are incredible for Xerath players, they're insane. Mana is reduced by 60, so okay, you have less mana, but how the Q, like the passive works now, it's a little bit longer, but every time you kill a minion, so in lane you have 6 minions usually, so you can reduce the cooldown by 2. So 6 times 2 is 12, so you can reduce the cooldown by 12, so it's only 4 seconds if you kill the whole wave. So this is actually, I think overall you'll use the Q much more, especially later on when you start one-shotting the waves. You'll get the Q instant, and also you can apply it on the tower, which is good. A little bit of a situation where you can get the mana also back. Our ultimate is very interesting. Now you're basically a sniper. So you get one more charge every rank, and the damage is decreased on the single hit, but if you hit the target the same time, every additional hit will do more damage. So let's say you hit the first one, you hit the second one, the third one is going to do 30% plus 5% AP more, and it's going to be a lot stronger. So good Xerath players will enjoy this so much, because they're usually hitting their spells a lot better than bad Xerath players. So watch out for Xeraths. They're gonna do a lot more damage with the R, and if you're gonna get pinged once, twice, and the third one is gonna hurt a lot. So be careful. Xerath, very strong. Zyra gets some quality of life. It changes a little bit. Her plants now do AoE, do a little bit less damage by 1, range do a little bit more damage by 1 as well. And the big thing is now that she can do damage to epic monsters as well. So before she could only do damage to non-epic monsters, bonus damage. Now she does bonus damage to dragons and barons as well in heralds. So she's a lot better in the support position to help the dragon, help the baron. And I don't think she's a jungler. This doesn't really like call to me as okay, we can go jungle with this. I think it's just better for support to help the jungler out or the AD carry to take the objectives. You get one extra plant, nothing too much. This is changed from 4 seconds to 16, but the damage is still the same. And now you can now the Zyra ultimate instantly procs instead of she has to walk and then put the ulti down. So like quality of buff, this is a bit interesting. Maybe we'll see how fast actually she can take the Dragon Baron. Maybe she's a Hamer situation now where Hamer puts the 3 turrets plus ulti and he one-shots the Baron, but we'll have to see how actually much damage this is. And now we're going in to the item section. Axioms Mark is absolutely... I don't understand what's going on with it. It looks ridiculously strong. Like it used to be 20% cooldown reduction, and now it's 5%, but plus 40% of your lethality. Can you understand? Like usually people will have like, I don't know, 80 lethality made late game. So 80 lethality, the people will get plus 30%, and it's up to 40%. So that means you can actually get up to 40%. So you can get 45% off your cooldown. Ultimate cooldown, 50% off one reset. Oh my god, this item is absolutely insane. But of course you don't buy it first, second or third. You try to buy it last when you have a lot of items. With Kiana, Rengar, Talon, all the lethality users will buy it as their last item or second to last item. So you will have more lethality to add. But it's gonna be a very good lethality late game item. Gale Force, mega nerf. 30 seconds. AD carries are getting nerfed again and again and again. And we see that Freak just hates AD carries. I don't know if it's true, but just Gale Force is of course getting nerfed a lot. 30% is significant, big. I don't think people will rush Gale Force now. I think a lot less people will buy it. It will be a still good item if you really need it. Like if Malphite ulti happens, like assassins are jumping you, need Hacker multi, you need to dodge something. Gale Force will be useful to sidestep the spell, but this is not gonna be go-to for every AD carry. No, my friends, no. Infinity Edge is being changed. AD is of course reduced, so a nerf, but the critical strike damage is increased by 10%, so this is big buff for AD carries like Caitlyn, Jhin, someone like people who really like to hit one single auto, hit with critical strike, have buffs like headshot and the Jhin crit, so then they can get value from the critical strike damage. Overall, I don't know if Infinity Edge is like super strong. It's very expensive item, it's very hard to build. We'll see. Caitlyn experimentation, maybe Jhin experimentation, but we'll have to see. Prowler Scroll, again, big buffs. 3 lethality for nothing, no cost increase, nothing, just 3 lethality is very strong. Again, assassins look like they're getting a lot of help. Like they're getting a lot of help from the Axioms Mark and the Prowler Scroll. I think they're going to be very strong. Randuin's Omen gets an increase from 20 to 25 crit reduction. So again, nerf to AD carries once again. It looks like, oh, we're buffing the Infinity Edge, but bam, we're buffing Randuin's as well. So you lose the crit. Tanks are gonna be stronger against AD carries and also some assassins, which buy critical strikes. So yeah, hold on to your hats. Tanks are coming. Spear of Sojourn wasn't really a popular item, just now will be maybe used a little bit more, experiment a little bit more. It gets 100 gold reduction and 50 health increase, so just very solid buffs. Items getting a lot stronger, the value is getting a lot bigger, maybe more champions can experiment. Spirit Twisted, just flat plus 10 magic resist is also very welcome. The item wasn't very popular. You usually just buy Force of Nature if you really need the super magic resist, or you would buy something else. So it's good they're buffing it. It's an item that heal champions like. So, but it was too weak, and now maybe it's a little bit better. Static shift is changed. Attack speed is increased by 5, but it's actually a mega nerf because the damage, the electrocute bouncy boom 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 damage you do on the wave is reduced by a lot. It's reduced by 100 in the late game, which is actually a lot. It's significant. I mean, champions will still buy it. It's gonna be good. Champions that need the wave clear will love it still, like Vayne and stuff, Kaisa, like champions who need to wave clear the wave fast and they don't really have the utility to do it will buy it, but it's quite a big nerf. We'll see. Stark's Gauge, again, just 100 gold decrease, 50 less health. Bruisers are gonna be happy, very happy. Olaf's, Jax's, Aatrox's, I mean, all these brawler motherfuckers, Cassante's. This is just a buff for the item and definitely worth trying out and see how it goes. I think it's gonna be very strong. Maybe some AD carries as well. We'll try it late game as a change to Guardian Angel and the Randu and Omen that sometimes you buy. And Trinity Force is gonna get changed a little bit. Its attack speed is reduced by 2, and now instead of stacking to 5, you stack to 3, but every stack gives more, so you get 6%. So in total, it used to be 20 because 5 times 4 was 20. You could stack it up to 20. Now you can only stack to 18, but you stack it faster. So what does this mean? Well, basically, bruisers again are getting stronger because bruisers don't usually trade that long. They just do 2 auto attacks. They get the 6% or 12% increase and they're happy, while AD carries are gonna be a little bit sadder because AD carries like to hit longer proactive fights and then they stack, of course, up to 20, so they'll get a nerf. So nerf to AD carries, a buff to the bruisers for Trinity Force. Ghost is being changed from 10 to 15, so but of course no longer gives the reset speed which you would get after getting assist on a kill on a fight. So what does this mean for the game? Well, basically AD carries are getting nerfed because AD carries used to really love the reset mechanic of getting the speed back, and like champions like Zeri, like Jinx, like Aphelios, they like to pop the ghost, get a kill, keep moving, hit, get a kill, keep moving, hit, get a kill, keep moving, hit, and just chase everybody down. Now you only get 15 seconds, so it's a lot better for bruisers like Darius. All of these guys, they kind of just want to run in, get the additional 5 seconds, just kill the AD carry, one champion, and they're just fine to die. They don't really care about the resets that much. I mean, they do, but it's not the same as with the AD carry. So overall, pretty bad now for AD carries, pretty good for bruisers. So overall, what's happening, it looks like bruisers is getting better. Also, red buff is getting weaker. The damage is reduced by 3, and the slow is also reduced by about 5% in the middle game, and then it's just the same 20 20 20. So red buff's getting nerfed and blue buff is getting buffed. Blue buff now gives, instead of 10, it gives 20 ability haste, so it's pretty good for the blue buff users. So yeah, this is the patch. It's a very big patch, a lot of changes, a lot of different things. Lissandra's very interesting change with the ghouls. Xerath has some interesting changes with the ulti. Can you snipe people? Can you get more damage that way? Gale Force looks pretty weak. Infinity Edge maybe situational some items. Prowler's Claw and Axiom's Mark, very good on lethality users. Still experimental with the bruisers. What will they buy? Spirit Sojins, Star Gauge can be experimental. Trinity Force looks better in bruisers. Ghost looks better in bruisers. So a lot of things looks brighter for the bruiser kind of champions, and it looks pretty sad for AD carries this patch. If I had to predict, I think a lot of mages will come to bottom lane. Mages like Ziggs, like Swain, like Harfus will still probably just dominate bottom lane because the items look pretty weak for AD carry role right now, but bruisers are looking great. Tanks get a little bit of a buff, and play Lissandra, I guess, with Xerath. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining my patch notes. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something. And join my Kick stream, The Blind Surgeon on Kick. And see you all next patch. And have a wonderful split 2, everyone. Bye.